and welcome to the webinar today. I'm Deborah Jones, I'm Partner Manager at Proactive, and I'm delighted to have Catherine with me from the Social Value Portal this morning, one of our partners. She's going to be talking you through practical steps to embed social value into your procurement strategy. This is something that we've seen an increased evidence of need for in our customer base, and something where we recognise the importance of social value both in public and private sector. If you don't recognise the term social value, you might have heard the terms corporate social responsibility or sustainability, and these are both very similar, if not in fact the same thing. We're including social value and the need for compliance with the Social Value Act through our partnership with Social Value Portal in our solutions, recognising our customers have a need that they need to meet, whether it's to their shareholders and the public, or whether it's to government or other areas of their business. In terms of questions at the end of the webinar, could I ask everyone to type their questions in, and we will then respond to all questions in writing by taking a question and answer approach where we circulate the full collated list at the end. So now I'm delighted to hand over to Catherine, who's the expert in the room on social value, to talk us through what I'm hoping will be a really interesting discussion.
Thank you, Deborah, for the introduction. As Deborah has said, my name is Catherine. I'm an account manager at the Social Value Portal, and I'm going to talk to you today about how Proactive is partnering with Social Value Portal. So the Public Services Social Value Act from 2012 is a tool designed to help commissioners maximise value and secure wider social and economic and environmental benefits throughout procurement. Sadly, social value is often not properly embedded into tenders or ongoing contract management. As a result, many councils are missing out on delivering more value for their communities. Recognising the importance of social value, Proactive have partnered with the Social Value Portal to support mutual clients wishing to manage social value through their tenders and beyond. Today, we're covering how to embed social value into your procurement, and we'll look into the following areas. So I'll give you a brief overview of the Social Value Portal, who we are and what we do. I'll introduce you to our National Social Value Measurement Framework. We'll run through a case study, which we have done with the West Midlands Combined Authorities. I'll give you a demonstration of the Proactive partnership with the Social Value Portal and procurement. We'll look at implementation of social value in your organisation, featuring contract management, dashboards and reporting. And finally, we'll look at some lessons that we have learned from working with our clients over the last few years. So our solution, the Social Value Portal. We are a market leader in social value measurement and have developed the online solution for the measurement, procurement, management and reporting of social value. Our solution enables private, public and third sector organisations to answer the question, what value do we bring to society? So we can help organisations measure their social value, both live and retrospectively. We can help organisations embed social value into their supply chain through the procurement exercises. We can help organisations to contract manage their social value, set themselves targets and manage their performance and store evidence to support their social value claims. And we can also help you with live reporting and interactive dashboards to display your social value. This includes geospatial mapping by social value area, where you can really pinpoint your social value delivery, and that goes down to the ward level. On this slide, you can see some of our private sector customers. You can see that we span quite a wide range of industries, from construction and asset management to finance industry. You can see there Barclays Bank, for example. And then moving on to our public sector customers, we work again with a wide range of councils and procurement organisations across the country. Some of our largest clients include the West Midlands Combined Authorities and Star Procurement. And we also work with various frameworks such as SCAPE, NEPO, we're looking to work with ESPO as well, and they comprise a number more councils as well. So why are councils interested in including social value in their contracts. While the Social Value Act of 2012, which has actually recently been reinforced and extended, requires public authorities to have regard to the economic, social and environmental well-being in connection with their public services contracts for connected purposes. Councils across the country are applying the Act to contracts over £50,000 to £100,000 threshold and using standalone weightings of about 10 to 20%. And leading councils such as Manchester, for example, are actually moving towards a 20% weighting. Many local authorities are now also looking at extending social value into planning. For these councils embedding social value in their contracts, there are some clear benefits emerging. Some of these key benefits include better value for money. So without inflating the contract value of goods and services, the councils have found that the contracts are delivering more value for the public pound. And we've seen this time and time and again with our clients. It increases local spend in your local council area. It increases spend also with SMEs, BCSEs. We're looking at social enterprise and charities. It's better for the local area in general. Increasing opportunities for disadvantaged people and promoting social mobility. The benefits go on and are relatable for private and public sector, and overall benefits are reaped in terms of economic, social and environmental benefits. And in terms of procurement, what we found is that on average an additional 20% of social value is being delivered per pound spent. So I've now introduced you to the Social Value Portal, given you some examples of our private and public sector clients. We've spoken about the Social Value Act and its effect on councils across the UK, who are now embedding social value into their contracts. And we've also looked at some of the emerging benefits for our clients and indeed anyone across the country who's measuring social value in their organisation. I'm now going to move on to talk about the measurement framework. So how do we measure social value? The Social Value Portal has designed what we call a TOMS framework. So this is a social value measurement framework, and TOMS stands for themes, outcomes and measures. So let's look at the themes first. These are relevant areas of improvement and focus for any organisation across the country. The language may vary, but the themes are the same: growth and jobs, promoting local business, healthy communities, and greener and cleaner. Mapped against those themes are a set of related outcomes, including, for example, in the growth and jobs theme, more local people in work and more opportunities for example, disadvantaged people. Against each of those outcomes are a number of measures. How exactly do we measure more local people in work? Well, it's the number of local people employed on the contract at an annualised figure. And then attached to each of those measures is a unit and a proxy value. So the unit is important in terms of how to measure the social value because it maps directly against the financial value that we give it. We develop the financial proxy values based on UK government data, ONS data, and these values are then calculated according to the government Green Book methodology. For example, if you look at a measure which might be about employing young offenders on your contract, the unit would be the number of people you're employing over the year, and the value for that would be about £15,000 per person per year. The National Social Value Task Force is an organisation which is being chaired by the Local Government Association and is made up of a number of organisations across the country. It allows input from private and public sector bodies and has developed the National Social Value Measurement Framework. It's also supported by the Cabinet Office and Crown Commercial Services. The task force have developed the TOMS framework, which comprises of 5 themes, 17 outcomes and 35 measures. And this provides a consistent measurement solution, one reporting standard across the country for organisations in all sorts of sectors. This allows you to benchmark against organisations within your industry in terms of how much social value you're delivering. It's had huge support over the past years, and it's been downloaded over 2,700 times now. Something to look out for, our national TOMs are being mapped against the UN Global Goals for Sustainable Development, and our TOMs are also updated annually, and these will be released at our National Social Value Conference early next year in 2020. Along with this at the conference, you'll also have an update on where the social value is moving forward in terms of their direction. Moving on to a case study. So we've covered how to measure social value and the development of a minimum standard reporting tool, the National TOMs Measurement Framework. And now we'll look at a case study with the West Midlands Combined Authorities. So the West Midlands Combined Authorities are one of our clients, and they've been a member with us for about 2 years now and have put through at least 20 tenders with us. So here's an example of one of the tenders they put through our system. So the West Midlands Combined Authority had an intranet system which was difficult to use, outdated and inefficient. It was quite a small contract value, but nevertheless you can still include social value in a contract like this, about £120,000 for 6 years. So let's look at the measurement framework that the Combined Authority decided to use. You can see on this slide the TOMs matrix. So this is made up of 5 themes: jobs, growth, social, environment, and innovation. This matrix was embedded into the contract with a 10% social value weighting. We received 8 social value proposals, and as you can see, looking at the graph, you've got the contract values in grey, got quite a wide range of contract values there, and then also a range of social value numbers in green. So this shows that there's no correlation between a high social value bid and a higher financial proposal. In fact, over the numerous contracts and tenders we've run now, we can see no evidence to support that social value would inflate the financial offer that your bidders would be making. In this case, circled in blue there for you, bidder 4 has made the highest social value submission despite having one of the lower contract values. So how do we evaluate these social value offers? Well, in this case, the 10% social value weighting has been split into a quality score and a quantity score. So the quantity score refers to the social value number that you accrue using that TOMs matrix and those proxy values that we spoke about earlier. And the quality score comes from a method statement that we ask all bidders to submit along with their social value submissions. In terms of the quantitative assessment, the bidders offer the highest social value offer from the bidder gets 100% of the quantity score, and the remaining social value offers from the bidders have a percentage of this highest social value offer, a fraction of it, to get them a percentage score. You can see here the scoring for that case study that we've spoken about. So here's bidder 4. They've been given 100% of the marks for the quantitative element. This has then been split into at 50% to account for the quality. They were only given a score of 50% for their method statement for being a fair to acceptable quality. Again, this is halved to make up that 5% for the quality, and then the two are added together and before being adjusted to 10% to give that overall 7.5% weighting for this bidder. This is a very simple tool to use, and you can see that that 7.5% can be inserted directly into your overall tender evaluation. Just looking at the method statement that bidder 4 has submitted here, by giving it a score of 50%, has effectively reduced the social value that that bidder has submitted due to a lack of substantiating evidence. This means that bidders' social values won't be allowed to be inflated based on false evidence. Now looking at the scoring criteria for the quality assessment, so this scored that method statement. So we can use your organisation's own scoring criteria for each individual tender. And just looking at this one here, you can see that this bidder scored between a 4 and a 6. Their method statement was fair and acceptable, provided some evidence to substantiate their social value claim, but not excellent evidence. They didn't go above and beyond to show how they were going to deliver the social value they were offering. So we've gone through that case study with the West Midlands Combined Authorities, and I've shown you how social value is embedded into the tender process and into the scoring and evaluation. We're now going to look at our partnership with Proactus, and I'll show you an example of this integration. We're going to be looking at the pro-contract tool. I'm going to run through that now. It's a very simple system for both bidders and suppliers to use. So what's the aim of this collaboration? The aim is to create a one-stop shop for e-procurement and social value. We aim to build on our respective leading positions in the marketplace, combine the best of each platform and deliver better value for communities. Some of the key benefits from our partnership include an ease of access, a single interface for councils that provides access to both e-tender and social value solutions. This applies for both councils and their suppliers. Instead of having to log on to 2 different systems, they can now complete their entire tender submission just on one. Our systems are completely compliant with your procurement processes, and there's a full audit trail for both buyers and suppliers. There's also a public sector focus between both of our systems, which are fully compliant with government and EU public contract regulations, as well as the Public Services Social Value Act of 2012. This is a cost-effective solution for suppliers. Neither Social Value Portal nor Proactus solutions charge any bidder to make a social value submission. So looking at the buyer side, in order to create a project, the buyers must first register with the Social Value Portal and create a new account. Once they've done this, they'll enable the Social Value panel in their account. So you can see in that bottom screenshot, if they click yes, that means that they would like to include social value in their tender. You can see beneath that there's a field for the project ID, which we'll come on to in a second. And you can see there's a link here in blue for where they click to create a new project on the Social Value Portal. The buyer simply clicks on that link and gets redirected into the Social Value Portal, where they complete a few simple project details, just about the name of the project, the postcode location, and the submission date. Once the buyer has completed this information, they're directly returned to Proactus, and the SVP code will be pre-populated. So you can see in this screenshot here, it says the Social Value Portal project ID, and this has been pre-populated. This can be shared directly with your bidders now, and they can gain access to the Social Value Portal system and submit their bid. So it's a very simple 3-step process for the buyers to embed social value in their tender. So moving on to the supplier side of the system, if the project in question is including social value, then the supplier will automatically see a social value panel as part of their response, and it will look something like the screenshot we've shown below. They'll then be directed directly onto the Social Value Portal site, where they can enter their social value targets based on the measurement framework that the buyer is using. Once they've completed that, they confirm their submission and download a summary PDF straight from our portal. They then get directed back into Proactus and upload that social value submission summary PDF to the page here. They confirm their submission and click Save. Again, a very simple 3-step process for the suppliers to be delivering social value in their tender. The pro-contract response checklist also now includes a social value portal response indicator. You can see that at the bottom of the page that the bidders can confirm that they've made their social value submission. So that showed the demonstration of partnership with Proactis and how that will be implemented. And now moving on to implementing social value using the social value portal. So we'll touch on contract management, dashboards, reporting, as well as your social value account and what that looks like on our platform. So this is an example of what your social value account would look like on our platform. You can see over on the left, you've got a list of projects, and your social value will also accumulate and at your master account page, so you can see how much social value your organisation is delivering. On the top right, we've got an example of an account hierarchy, so you can record social value at any level within your business. And on the bottom right, you can see some geospatial mapping where you can pinpoint social value delivery down to ward level and see where you're making a difference in your local community. Some main features of using our online portal are that you have your main account, which gives you an overview of all of your projects being measured and the cumulative social value created by the business. You have that organisation chart I showed you on the previous page, which shows all projects and business units within your account hierarchy and the social value being accrued at each level. You then have the social value calculator page. Here, users can input data into the organisation's bespoke calculator. The delivered social value is then updated in real time across the account. So if we look at this screenshot on the left-hand side, we've got jobs, which is the theme, local employment, which is the outcome, and beneath that, we've got a measure. This is a measure about employing local people on the contract. We've got the unit here, which is number of people, full-time equivalent, and the proxy value, which is about £26,000. So you can see this is great for the bidders because they can always see the social value that they're accruing in a transparent process. If we move over to the right-hand side now, you can see that this bidder has set themselves targets. For example, for local people employed on the contract, they said they would deliver 1 person. They've actually already delivered 2 over 2 quarters. Therefore, they've got a simple green star RAG rating to show their progress. There's also a space for them to write a description and evidence to substantiate their social value claim, and they can also add an attachment to further evidence their claim against every single measure. As you enter numbers against each period, you can click Save and Calculate up in the top right of that screenshot, and the numbers at the top of the page will update live in real time on this page and also throughout your main social value account. So once you've embedded social value into your tender, you've awarded your winning bidder, you want to make sure that they deliver their social value. So contract management is really key. It's important, especially for councils, that they ensure the social value benefits they envisaged when procuring are realised during the contract term. How do they do this? Well, they can do this on the portal really easily. The portal enables bidders to set out in which year of the contract they will deliver the various measures. And then the winning bidder's offer is then captured on the portal and contractualised. The bidders are then required to upload evidence on a regular basis, demonstrating their live social value delivery against the targets they've set. To help with this process, we partnered with the Local Government Association and produced a contract management social value guidance booklet. This is free and open source to download from our website and is a really useful tool in describing how to contract manage your projects. We have some dashboards on our portal, and these will be available to you on your master account page and on any account pages lower down your account hierarchy. So you can see, for example, apprenticeships. You can record how many apprenticeships you've delivered across your organisation, across multiple projects, multiple contracts over a year, and these values will accrue. You can also break down your social value by your own bespoke KPI or theme now. So if you wanted to look at measures that were more specific to your organisation, we could also report on those in a dashboard format. And you can now pinpoint your social value delivery on a map of the country and really break down where you're delivering that social value data. Again, this goes down to the ward level. We produce quarterly or annual infographic style reports for your organisation too. Again, these can be done on a per contract level or at a corporate level. These are powerful tools to share with your internal and external stakeholders. You can distribute them amongst the local community to showcase the work that's being achieved in terms of social value in your local area. This is a really powerful advertising and marketing tool, and we can bespoke these reports to your organisation and your needs. So we've talked about implementing social value in your organisation and how you can use the portal to help you achieve this. I'll just go through a few lessons learned now. So we've got six key items to look at. The number one is leadership. Leadership from the top is absolutely essential in terms of setting expectations and setting targets to drive change in your organisation. We've seen this time and again, and organisations where social value is being led from the top are those that succeed in delivering the most social value. Standardising. This is important, first of all, to reduce workload for your offices, but also to make sure that you can embed social value in the vast majority of your contracts. I know that from the clients I work with, those organisations that have standardised social value will put through twice as many contracts as those that have a unique solution for every single contract. It's important to measure social value. You can embed social value in your organisation using our framework. We find that if social value is not measured, it will not be achieved or delivered. It's important to think about building capacity within your business and also to engage where possible with your supply chain and make it as easy as possible for other businesses to work with you. Relevance and proportionality are really key. It's important not to be prescriptive to your own organisation, also to the supply chain. This can give an unfair disadvantage to SMEs and VCSEs. This is part of the reason why we provide that national TOMS framework, which has a menu of 38 measures. This leaves it up to bidders to decide which of the measures they think they can deliver in terms of value and is not non-prescriptive. It allows them to innovate as well. And then number 6, contract management, as we touched on earlier. Really important to put in place good contract management procedures and hold your suppliers to account. Otherwise, the social value that they've promised during the procurement will not be delivered. To help you with this, we've published the LGA Contract Management Guidance Booklet. Again, this is open source to download from our website. Important too to set achievable targets and ask for delivery and reporting frequently. This means that your bidders really don't have a chance to fail in their delivery of social value, and you'll always make sure it's been delivered.
Thanks, Catherine. It's been really interesting to listen to you this morning, and one of the take-homes that I'd just like to share with the audience is that some of the activities you've talked about with social value are not new and different. They're not adding cost to the buyer or the supplier. It's about measuring what's there and bringing that out as something that's transparent and then something that can be improved on. So I think that's something that many companies may already be doing, even if they don't call it social value. And the partnership between ourselves allows these things to be brought to the forefront and evidenced, and for the businesses then to get the value out of those in their new contracts and their tendering processes. So I hope everybody else has enjoyed the webinar session this morning. As said previously, we will be sharing the questions round and the answers for those as well. If you're on a journey around social value, either having gone part way through it and are now wanting to be able to measure it and demonstrate that effectively, or you're thinking about starting off because maybe it doesn't sound as difficult as it perhaps did before this morning, please do get in touch with either Proactis or the Social Value Portal, and we'll work together to help you with that. So on that note, thank you, Catherine. It's been a delight.
Thank you, Deborah.